So today we're going to be taking a look at a scenario where civilization starts over. Today we are on episode 25, I think, of the series. In our last episode, we saw various events taking place. We saw the fall of Galicia, and we saw Valencia starting to invade France. We saw the full capitulation of the Dutch puppet state. We saw the fall of the Balkan Union. We saw various advances by the Saharan regime, and a lot more. If y'all do enjoy this episode, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. And today we're going to be seeing the fall of the Square Alliance. But yeah, let's get right into it. So there, we're going to immediately be starting off. So we are going to be immediately starting off over here, as various Austrian troops will now be crossing the border, immediately capturing this major city. We also see them crossing over here and over here, capturing various provinces, and over here. I am going to be turning off the alliance flag because I think y'all do understand. But we're going to be seeing the fall of these nations, as the capital will be captured, and that really just leaves only one nation of the Square Alliance. Various more. We see the capture of the ancient Roman capital, the fall of the Northern Italian Republic. This will be forcing the Republic of the Three Islands to surrender, leaving only one But yeah, with the fall of the Square Alliance, only leaves two alliances left fighting, being the Circle Alliance and the Oval Alliance. And I think y'all realize which one are going to be losing as well. I think it's going to happen. We see various Finnish troops, as well as some Polish and a little bit of Belarusian troops finally meeting up to the front line, pushing back any presence of Norwegian troops, pushing back all of this right here. Naval landings will be made off the coast. With having no more naval access, the whole thing will fall apart, and the invasion of Norway by Finnish, Polish, and Belarusian troops will now be scurried. Over here, France is practically capitulated, and this, well, just pretend that all this is fallen. This is practically its own independent state. Iceland is probably left the war. This only leaves Norway fighting left. Norway will be agreeing on a peace treaty with the Polish government, and let's take a look at that. So this is the new map. Now as for the colonies, this will be done later, but I have done probably all the important stuff. But Africa will be done later. I did do the Saharan country, so now that I've been talking about it, let's take a look. Over here in the Norwegian front, we see them taking 3 provinces over from the Norwegian colony. As for over here, we see that a new Northern African Carthage nation is going to be formed up over here. Moving up over to Austria, we can see that they've probably gone maybe top 20. As for these guys, they have united over with the Northern Italian Union, and this is the Italian Union. As for Switzerland, they were on the losing side, the Triangle Alliance, but as you can see, they are now under the influence of Poland. Speaking of Poland, they gained Denmark and a lot of Dutch land. They did occupy this. As for everything else, this is now a new puppet state under the control of Belarusia, and Poland. Over here, we see that a new Iberian-ish union will be formed. A new Southern French Union country will be formed. France still exists over here. And the English country from a long time ago will be reformed over here. As for Norway, they did not lose anyone except for over here in Denmark, in a bit of the colony. They are now under the influence of Poland, so yep, that is one thing. But now we're going to be taking a look at the aftermath of the war. What did the early countries say about this? Well, first of all, these guys are super happy. They are going to be getting land in the next episode in the colonies. As for Brazil, they were not directly involved, but they did send some volunteer troops over here to the Syrian country. Over here, a new plan is now being set up, and this plan will be shown right now. After many months of planning, this plan was delayed due to World War I, but as you can see, I've shifted colors. I think you know what's happening. A new union will be taking place, and this will be known as the Indian Union. This country was meant to rival China's influence over here in Eastern Asia. This new union now has the influence of both of these nations, as during the war they did not want to be involved, so they just ended up leaving, and they are now under the influence of the Indian Union. And the Indian Union is probably one of the strongest countries in the world. These guys are probably under the ideology of communism. Speaking of ideology, we need to take a look at that, as we're going to be seeing a lot of new countries taking new ideologies. Now let me just update this real quick. So I have now just officially added the new circles for these countries. I did forget Carthage, but forget that. As equalism, yes, I did rename it from Faranism to equalism, is now going to be expanding. These guys, as we know, Southern France is under the control of Iberia, so of course they are going to be adopting equalism. As for France, they are also going to be adopting equalism. As for the English Union, also adopting equalism. Not that. And finally, as for these guys, they're as well going to be adopting equalism. And equalism will be expanded. Oh yeah, these guys also have equalism. So, as you can see, equalism is now starting to become a major ideology. Now we need to take a look at the military layer, as this also needs to heavily be updated, so let's update that. So taking a look at the new military alliances, we can see that they are heavily updated. As we can see, the Circle Alliance is currently the only military alliance in the world so far. You might see some other military alliances, but as you can see, the Saharan country is no longer in the Circle Alliance, and that's for a really good reason. These guys are really capable. They have a lot of potential. These guys are probably one of the strongest countries in the world, if not the 8th strongest country in the world. Of course, they're probably behind the Indian Union, countries like China, for sure Poland, European Union, maybe Brazil. But yeah, that is really it for that. Now we'll be taking a look at some expansion. As taking a look over here, we are going to be seeing the Indian Union expanding, as they are going to be taking all of this land right over here. So they look something like this now. As for China, they are going to be expanding something.
Good luck with that. Okay, I'm out of here.
So they are going to be looking something like that. So pretty big. I also really do not like these borders, so I will just be slightly expanding these guys. So these guys are now looking something like this, and that looks a little better. And now we're going to be seeing some disputes. China also should have like 50 billion major cities, stretched with these guys. But India and China are not fighting over influence over Vietnam. Vietnam is kind of split, literally. Like this western half is for India, and this eastern half is for China. Now China does have more influence over this area because they have more influence over this than India has, and that's really just because India is only a country that's like 2 years old by now, which is kind of surprising. But yeah, but now a really big event would be taking place over here. So we're going to be seeing some instability over here in the Saharan regime. As we know, these guys are fascist, and well, these guys don't really align. These guys were a part of the communist Ireland, which is probably
Someday I'm going to go to the moon.
probably still communist. But these guys do want to rejoin the communism regime that they were under. I'm going to start to see some rebellions. I'm going to be doing this by line, and various rebellions will be popping up in these various major cities. Now, these probably aren't qualified as rebellions, probably just some little riots that take over major cities. But soon enough, these guys will be evolving to a full-on rebellion. These guys are going to gain quite a lot of strength. The Saharan regime military is mostly over here. There's not a lot. It's probably just defensive forces going into the area. But for now, we're not going to be seeing any pushback, as we're going to be continuing to see the expansion of these guys. We even see some minor rebels over here. Moving over here, Switzerland will now be cutting all diplomatic relations with with Poland, which now Switzerland kind of just robbed Poland. Moving over here to the Iberian Union, they are now looking forward to creating an alliance with the African Isles and Carthage and southern France and even northern France. So they are trying to kind of rival Poland in influence over Europe. But if a world war were to take place, it would most likely be between India and China, but I'm not going to leak anything. But now, we're going to be taking a look at more exploration. By now, the Philippines should have been explored. So let's take a look at all the exploration. So taking a look at the exploration of Indonesia and the Philippines, we don't see a lot. Only half of the Indonesian islands, probably more than half. But yeah, we don't see the full exploration of this. Also, by now, this should also be fully explored. Like, I would probably say that this area is probably fully explored by now. So I'm just going to do that. So that area is probably explored. As for this, is probably not. They probably have already made up with the lake. Australia's probably been partly explored by Galicia before the war. And yeah. But now we're going to be moving over here, as we're going to be seeing a division for the Americas. And once again, let's take a look at this. So taking a look at this treaty, we see a lot of stuff like taking place. Now I am going to be fixing these borders a little bit. So it looks something like this.
Great. Thanks for that image, Edith.
So it looks something like that. And that kind of looks better. I might fix that. But now this leaves all this for Ireland, and China did say that they could get all this, but they're not going to be getting it for now. As for the South America, they are not being really colonized. We do eventually see the Red Team colonizing it, making a major colony over here in South America, which could be really useful for them in the future. Close the door. Sorry about that. I was telling him to close the door. But yeah, we do see making a really major colony over here. But as for the final event of this video, we are going to be seeing a big event taking place, and India and China will be making their own military alliances, and yeah, we will be taking a look at that in the next episode. But if y'all do enjoy this episode, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and let's get right in. Well, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.